For my field experience this semester, I was placed in Lewisdale Elementary School. I grew up in middle to upper class majority white community. To get the chance to observe a classroom in a school that is 87% English as a second language was an eye-opening experience. Lewisdale Elementary School is situated in an impoverished area. On our first trip, we were told that many of the kids live in a family home with 2 to 3 different families. This was something new to me because of where I grew up. I was exposed to a very different view of education during this field experience. The teachers that I got a chance to work with were, for the most part, amazing. It was very obvious in everything my cooperating teacher did that she really cares about these kids. She teaches English, and I worked with her class, which is considered the advanced class. She has cultivated relationships with the kids to the point where she can see what they need in order to learn better and get to the next level of their education. She went about teaching with such a positive, fun manner that the kids really wanted to get to her class. She really is an amazing person to learn from. As for the students, I really came to enjoy working with my students. My class is the advanced class, and yet there are still so many kids behind where they should be. Although I chose to observe multiple students throughout the semester, I observed one buddy multiple times. He had trouble reading and writing, and as he was not a native English speaker. However, he was really bright in the other subjects. During the math and science exercises, he was the first one to answer, and the teachers often used him as an example. He could explain things to other students and really help them understand. My cooperating teacher once said, "He's ready to learn and he wants to learn. When you talk to him, he takes it all in like a sponge." This was heartwarming and at the same time devastating. My buddy wanted to learn and wants to learn and is willing to work hard to learn, and he's got such a big roadblock to stumble over, like simple reading and writing skills. In my journal entry from November 13th, I wrote about an incident with his spelling exam. Being an English as a second language student, he has special accommodations. I was helping him practice for his upcoming test, and I noticed that he was just guessing how to spell the words, and then checking for my reaction to see if he was right. When it came time for the test, my teacher told me that for his test, he was allowed to take a modified version that had multiple choice answers on the back because of the language barrier. My cooperating teacher commented that she wasn't sure if he'd be able to move up to middle school without some formal help outside of the class. It was just really disheartening to learn that despite his hard work, he could be held back because of his language issues. My teacher was saying that she was afraid that he would get picked on and made fun of if he moved up, but if he didn't get some extra help before he went to middle school, he wouldn't be able to stay at the other kids' level. One of the amazing things that I got to experience was how much these students wanted to learn. I guess I had the preconceived idea that students don't want to be in school, but that wasn't the case in my school. All the students raised their hands, did their work, and were eager to show that they learned something, and that was amazing to see in itself. But the biggest thing I learned is what I want to do with my life. From this experience, I've realized that I don't want to work with a high-class, privileged school. I'd rather put in hard hours and form relationships with the children in ways that my cooperating teacher has. I want to work in an area that has struggles and needs help. As a language major, I think that it is a good outlet for my skill set, and I've realized much more throughout the semester how big of a barrier language can be. I think that my observations throughout the semester have proved to me that being an ESOL teacher or a teacher in an impoverished area is the best thing I can do for myself and the students I'll be teaching. I can't wait. The two of the teachers at my school both told me that they stay after school to help the students in a tutoring program, even on days that they're not supposed to stay, because they really want these students to learn, and that was just a beautiful thing to me. I guess throughout the semester, my biggest bias working with my cooperating teacher was that at first I couldn't really understand her style of teaching. As an English teacher, she had a lot to cover, and I didn't think the way she was going about it would be helpful. She did a lot of journal entries and carpet time, and for the age of the students, I thought were not helpful because I saw many of the students not writing anything or not paying attention. However, as the semester continued, I began to realize that my teacher was giving these kids the ability to express themselves in a way that they wanted, and that the students were able to talk about whatever they wanted while still practicing the skills she needed to instill in them. This was a really good outlet for their creativity because a lot of them didn't have any other way to talk about it. I think I grew by being able to accept that even though I feel like I have a good grasp on the situation, someone else has more insight and knows what works best in different situations. This experience really opened my eyes to the needs of impoverished schools. Lewisdale needs more resources, everything from more classroom space to tutors. I think that working in a school like this can give me experience working with ESOL students, something that I plan to do once I graduate. As for while I'm still in school, I know that if possible I want to try and tutor or hold after-school programs for the children who need more language help. I think it'd be a great experience for me, and it would help them tremendously.